Philadelphia News, team of my heart.
You watched Maxey carry the Sixers through chaos, but now some fans want him gone after the Magic Grizzlies trade. Would you trade Philly's future just to chase a rebuild? Let's break down this shocking Sixers news and the trade talk shaking. The fan base right now, you're frustrated. You've stayed loyal, night after night, watching Tyrese Maxey run through walls for this team, your team. And now, because the Magic gave up a haul for Desmond Bane, some fans want the Sixers to flip Maxey for picks. You're asking yourself, what are we doing here? You saw what Maxey did this season. Even when the locker room was thin, when in Mbappé's knees gave out again, when Paul George looked like a shadow of himself, Maxey didn't fold. He gave you 26 points a night, tied a career-high 6 assists, still showed up with that fire. And now, there's a chunk of the fan base trying to ship him off like he's disposable. You hear the noise. He's not a 1A star. Maxey and McCain are too small to work together. This is the best time to cash in. But you know what else is true? The guy is 24, an all-star, a leader, homegrown, the kind of player you wait a decade to find. This isn't just another Sixers news headline. This is about the core of what you believe as a fan. You've been sold hope, sold star trades, sold rebuilds before. And when the team finally hands the keys to someone who bleeds Philly, people want to strip it all down again. You saw what the Magic gave up for Bane, and that trade made every front office reevaluate. But Maxey isn't some secondary option. In Philly, he's the soul of the team. Still, you scroll through X and C takes like Maxey and McCain can't coexist. That their size makes them unworkable. That now's the time to blow it all up. Really? Let me ask you this. If the Sixers trade Maxey now, what message does that send to you? To the locker room? To the city? That building through the draft? Watching a kid become an all-star just isn't worth it unless he's perfect. No. You know that's not Philly. Sure, Maxey's efficiency dropped. He played just 52 games. But how much of that was due to carrying the load, night after night, on a team riddled with injuries and to stars who couldn't deliver? This wasn't a Maxey problem. This was a Sixers-wide collapse, and you felt it. And yet, you're hearing voices calling for a trade, saying his value's never been higher, that it's time to restart, kick off a new process. But you know what that really means. 5 more years of watching washed veterans and rookies with zero identity. 5 years of excuses. You lived through that once. You know how it ends. And you've seen what happens when the front office bets on the wrong stars and forgets the heart. Maxey's not just a player. He's what connects you to this team. That's why the Sixers news stings so much. Because this isn't just about basketball. It's about loyalty. It's about fighting through hard times instead of running from them. It's about finally building something real and sticking with it when it matters most. And that's what Maxey has done. You saw him take the post-game mic. You saw him console teammates. You saw the way he talks about the city like it raised him. And now some of the fan base wants to treat him like trade bait because of a deal involving Desmond Bane. Come on. Don't let that slide. Now tell me something. You, right there watching. Would you ever trade Tyrese Maxey? Why or why not? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I'm reading every one of them. And while you're still sitting there, asking yourself if this is real, if people are seriously debating trading Maxey after everything he's done, the truth is, this isn't just a Twitter reaction. It's a symptom of deeper confusion around this front office, around this entire organization. And that's why you feel uneasy, even if you can't quite explain it. Because on one hand, you've got voices saying it's time to move on, that the title window with Joel is shut, that Paul George is cooked, and that Maxey, for all his growth, just isn't the guy who can lead this team to a championship. But then you look at the roster, the injuries, the coaching changes, and you wonder, has Maxey really had a fair shot? You think back to when this kid was drafted. He didn't come in with a spotlight. He had to earn every minute, every start, every ounce of respect. And every time they doubted him, when they said he was too small, too streaky, not ready, he worked harder. He gave you something to believe in. That means something. Now there's talk of 4 or 5 first-rounders. A full rebuild. You've heard it all before, but you also know this. Picks don't comfort you after another February meltdown. Picks don't keep the crowd at Wells Fargo Center on their feet when the team's down 15 in the third. And picks don't replace the heartbeat Maxey has become in this locker room. You saw it. When Embiid was out, when PG wasn't moving right, Maxey didn't hide. Even if his shot wasn't falling, he still pushed the pace, still took the big shot, still brought the energy. And you remember how bad it felt when he was out with injuries. It wasn't just a missing piece. It was like the entire team was missing its spirit. And let's not pretend the fan base is united on this. For every tweet trying to justify trading him, there's another calling it what it really is: insanity. Because while the numbers might say he's tradable, your eyes tell you something else. That Tyrese Maxey is different. That he gives you hope in a way no draft pick can guarantee. And yeah, the McCain argument, you've heard it. That they're both undersized, that they can't defend big wings. But let's not act like that's a new issue in this league. Teams with two guards have made it work before, if they're both committed, both smart, both willing to do whatever it takes. Maxey is that guy. McCain, still to be seen. But you don't destroy something promising before you even try to build it. That's what's getting lost in this wave of trade talk. The emotional connection. The culture you've begged this franchise to build for years. Maxey is that culture. He's the first guy on the court. The last guy out of the gym. The smile in a press conference after a loss, saying, "We'll be better." And you believe him because he means it. This isn't just a decision about basketball. It's a decision about identity, about who the Sixers want to be. Are they going to be a team that gives up when things get tough? That always chases the next star like it's a fix? Or are they going to finally bet on the guy who's shown up every single time his name was called? You've watched Maxey grow in front of your eyes. From spark plug to all-star, from role player to cornerstone. And you know he's still not done. So why in the world would you want to send that away? Just because another team overpaid for Desmond Bane? That's the problem with this idea. It ignores the most important part of team building. You, the fan, the one who shows up, who screams, who lives and dies with every win, every collapse, every comeback. Trading Maxey, that doesn't just change the roster. That rips the soul out of what you've been holding onto. So here's where you are now. You're not just watching Sixers news, you're living it. You're watching your favorite player become a name in trade rumors. And you've got a choice. Buy into the noise, or stand firm and say, no, this is our guy. He's not going anywhere. Because you know what happens if they move him. The locker room changes, the chemistry shifts, the city pulls back. You've seen it before. And for what? For a draft pick? For a mystery? For another maybe? Not this time. Then you think about it. Really think about it. Strip away the stats. Forget the trade machine. Forget the fake rebuild timelines on social media. Just look at what you feel when Tyrese Maxey puts on that Sixers jersey. There's something different. Something Philly. Something real. You know that not every player earns your respect just by scoring. It's the ones who fight for the city that earn your loyalty. The ones who don't flinch when things get tough. The ones who, even after a 2-4-14 night, stay after the game and shoot more. Not because the cameras are watching, but because they expect more from themselves. Maxey is that guy. He never asked to be the face. He just became it. Now they're asking if it's time to trade him. You're supposed to give that up? You're supposed to throw away the most inspiring part of this team. Just because a couple of talking heads said you should. Look around. The Sixers are walking a tightrope. Embiid's health, Uncertain. Paul George's future shaky. The supporting cast still being built. But Maxey, he's here. He's young. He's signed. And he wants it? That matters more than anything. He's not someone you replace. He's someone you build with. And you can't ignore the damage it would do to the culture. What kind of message do you think it sends when you tell the hardest worker on the team, you're not enough? What do you think it does to the next young player, watching from the bench, wondering if they'll ever be trusted? There's something about Maxey that reminds you why you started watching this team in the first place. It's not always about titles. It's about heart, about hustle, about watching a player grow with you, not just for you. When you watched Iverson, you saw fight. When you watched Drew Holiday, you saw maturity. And now with Maxey, you see hope. You suffered enough through botched rebuilds. The process gave you pain, draft misses, wasted years, playoff collapses. But this thing with Maxey, it's the first thing in years that feels earned. He wasn't handed anything. He became what this team needed. And now some people are talking about trading him. Man, no. You don't move on from the one thing going right. And here's the real kicker. Maxey wants to be here, in Philly, where it's not easy, where the fans hold you accountable, where every missed shot gets remembered, and every big shot makes you a legend. He wants all of that. You know how rare that is in this league. So the next time someone tells you that trading Maxey is just good business, remember this: culture is business. Leadership is business. Fans showing up and caring, that's business. You trade Maxey, and you're not just making a roster move. You're taking a flamethrower to the one connection that still holds this team together. This isn't about defending a player. It's about defending a vision, a future, a belief that this city can grow something real if it just stops chasing the quick fix. You've been loyal. You've been patient. And now you're being told to hit reset again. Not this time. You stay the course with Maxey, not because it's easy, but because it's right. And if the front office can't see that, then you need to make them. You keep showing up. You keep talking. You keep pushing back. And if you believe this matters, if you believe that Maxey represents the heart of this team and the future of Philadelphia, then you need to hit that subscribe button right now and turn on that bell, because this conversation isn't over. And if you care about where the Sixers go next, you need to be part of it. We're not just reacting, we're shaping what's next. Hit that button. Stay close, because you know it. The real Sixers news doesn't come from a rumor. It comes from you.